You are now listening to the Salty Virgins Podcast.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Today... Stop, Patrick. You can't do that.
Something like that hasn't happened in so long, and I'm so
All
glad
Jordan
it
does when
happened.
we intro is go, So you're gonna make fun of me?
No, not just intro, every single topic.
What is up, my dudes?
Listen,
All right.
It was on brand, and it's...
How do you do, fellow kids?
I'm not a cop.
Hello, fellow podcast listeners and millennials.
Hey, 30 to 50 feral hogs.
Today, we have a special guest for you guys. One of my best friends from, well, maybe not a friend, more of someone I knew from college.
Wow.
Yikes.
No, actually...
I honestly, in my head, went, oh, I'm your best friend. And then, no, fuck. All right.
Real
We're
talk,
not here to be nice to you. What?
Real talk, she's marrying Kayla and I at our wedding. So
Thank you.
we like her enough.
You haven't told me that yet.
Oh.
No,
Live reveal on the podcast.
Maybe
Content.
Kayla was meaning to... I don't know. Anyway, we have Christine Moore on the podcast. Christine, you want to intro yourself?
Hey. Hey, I'm Christine. Yep. I actually went to school... Actually, I didn't go to school... I went to school with Kevin in college, but I grew up in Melbourne area. So I actually went to high school right next to them. So we have, like, some of my friends and stuff, but... I actually didn't meet him until we were in college. But no, okay, wait, time out. That makes me so happy, because I think Kayla's been meaning to send me, like, a confirmation that that's what I'm doing, because I'm currently in a Facebook group called Kayla's Bridesmaid and Christine.
Yep, this is true.
And I've literally asked, what's the and I figured I knew what it was, but no one's actually officially
I thought Kayla
said
told
it
you.
yet,
Maybe I
so
just fucked that all up.
She was probably going to get, like, a nice gift, and it was going to be a nice surprise, and now...
She was going to send her a box.
Kevin, you've absolutely ruined this.
Kevin ruined his own wedding. Wow.
Yep, yeah.
Can you go tell her, like, right now so we can just get it all recorded?
Please.
Just put the phone on
Just
speaker.
call her and put it on speaker.
Oh,
Please
no,
don't.
God.
All right, so...
So anyway, yeah. So no, I've listened to all of your episodes, and I'm super stoked to get a chance to talk with y'all.
We're super stoked to talk to you.
So we have our normal mixed bag of bullshit, but I wanted to kick things off because Christine is actually the person that kind of introduced me to international travel, and she has been to more countries than anyone that I know. So I really just wanted to kind of give you, she told us earlier you've been to how many countries this year?
I thought I said 10, but now I think it was 8 this year.
All right. So regardless, I don't know if you wanted to talk about, or basically, how did you kind of start traveling? Was it like your family that you went on trips with? Did you go on a trip with friends, or kind of how did you get into it? And then how do you consistently travel and kind of do it from a reasonable
Affordably?
budget standpoint? Yeah.
Yes.
No, so growing up, I was a military brat. So like when I went to the high school that I ended up graduating from was my 4th high school. So we lived everywhere from Florida to Puerto Rico, and my dad being in the military, and my mom's Korean, so she traveled a lot. Obviously, she traveled to America, but she traveled a lot when she was younger, and so did my dad. So I'm pretty sure growing up, they wanted us to have those same kind of experiences. So I mean, I think the coolest trips I've actually been on in my life are the ones my parents took me on, and I don't remember them because I was too little. But I know that had to feed into something down the road anyway, like my love for travel or something. But yeah, I think it really came from that, just because I don't think we lived in one place for more than 2 years, and then of course the one place we settled down was Oklahoma of all places, which actually ended up being probably my favorite place. It actually ended up being my favorite place I've ever lived. The people there are just unreal nice. But I mean, I do love the beach and
Must be nice.
Not hating on people from Florida, they're also super awesome. But
That's not what I meant.
Why are you lying?
Yeah.
no,
Everywhere's bad and everyone is bad.
Facts. Huge fact.
No, everyone, dude, everyone sucks. This guy today, driving to work, was tailgating this sweet little old lady who was going up a parking lot in 2 miles an hour, and he literally rolled, this was today at work, he literally rolled his window down and was like, "What are you doing?" And this was like a 90-year-old grandma. I mean, granted, she needed to go faster, but yeah. But yeah, long story short, people suck everywhere. But that was And then oh my god,
Did you say short people?
What?
Did you say short people?
People suck everywhere.
Yeah, short people suck.
Fuck you, Kevin.
No, but to make it even more awkward, on the way, like, because we were all on, like, the 8th floor, so, like, I think the guy, like, rage quit and then went up to the 9th floor to park. But we all ended up in the same goddamn elevator, and it was so uncomfortable. Because, like, I could tell they hated each other, and I was just, like, sitting there, like, so that was fun. But, okay, back to travel. No, but, so, I just traveled a lot as a kid, but, I think it kind of just, like, when I finally got my own money is when I started, like, really traveling like a lot more to different states, obviously, in different countries. Kevin, I didn't actually realize until you asked me to, like, you guys asked me to talk, how many trips we've actually been on together. And I think having my own money is kind of what inspired me, because I felt better about, I don't know, I just like felt better about going and like being more adventurous with where I was going, because I felt like I wouldn't like waste my parents' money, I guess, or something. If I went on a trip and I don't know, that was like my weird psychology. Is like if it was my money and the trip ended up not being great, I didn't feel bad that I was using someone else's money. I guess that's how I thought about it in my mind. But yeah, no.
I think that makes sense.
I don't know if that makes sense, but well, and a lot of things too is like I started traveling solo. I think that's actually how I got into traveling, because when I first started making money, I didn't have a lot of money, and so I was like flying like the red-eye Spirit flights, so like no one I know would really want to go on. But I know that I'd be willing to go through that just to go for the travel. Because, I mean, like, like, I dated a guy, like, my ex-boyfriend at one point lived in Colorado. So I was in Colorado, like, every month. And I was getting $88 round-trip tickets to Denver. But I was flying Frontier, and I would get in at, like, 1 a.m. in the morning, like, Sunday night.
So you were elite status on Frontier, huh?
I literally was
she
so
spent more than $150.
Hard to bear, Stan.
It's hard to spend $150 on a Frontier flight, too.
You're going to hate me, Jordan. I have a Spirit credit card. So I heard you like talk shit one episode. It's like, I have a Spirit credit card.
Wait, they have credit card? First of all,
they do. You get 50,000 miles as a sign-up bonus.
Did you say 300,000?
50,000.
Oh, I thought you said 300,000. I was like, you can go anywhere.
50,000 points. Who cares? It's Spirit. That means like you could get to go to like Tampa.
I've never had a bad experience, and I've flown Spirit internationally like 4 times and never had problems. Except
I had a hole on my plane.
Yeah, Patrick got caught in fucking Fort
and had a
Worth.
hole in his plane.
Christine,
And then they didn't
remember...
even like give him a hotel at first.
Well, I was gonna say, Kevin, I think you're gonna bring it up. Was that Costa Rica where we had to physically sprint to one end of the airport? Was that us?
Yes. So they left our bags behind. They told us, just drop your bags here on the people side of the counter, not even the employee side, and said, run to your plane. And we were like, we don't really want to do that. And they said, you're going to miss your plane, go. So we did, and we ran. We got on the flight, and then that flight, the flight getting there was Costa Rica to like Houston or some shit. And then Houston to Orlando, I think. But that Costa Rica to Houston flight, we had like the worst turbulence I've ever experienced. And it being on a Spirit flight does not make it better. And I also had the worst like stomach trouble in recent memory. So I'm sitting in an airplane bathroom on Spirit Airlines as the plane is rocking and rolling. They have a little bar in there for you to hold on to. And I'm just losing everything I've eaten for the past week. My intestines are it was I wasn't so the flight attendant told me I got up. I was like having an internal struggle because they tell you like don't get up. Yeah, literally. And they're like stay seated. We're going through turbulence, so I'm scared. I get to the point where I'm about to shit my pants, and I get up to go to the bathroom, and the flight attendant says, "Sir, you need to sit down." And I looked at her and said, "I'm gonna shit my pants. I need to go." And she just stepped aside.
And dude, the best is we let him go in front of us, Patrick.
I'm gonna
Fucking
sidestep
roasted.
that.
Yeah, you could have stepped to the side for Kevin too. Wow.
It was pretty, no. Oh, I had another one. So Zach, one of our friends, Zach, actually went with us to. He went on a lot of trips with us, but he went with us to Costa Rica for that one. But he and I went to Peru, and we got round trip from Orlando to Peru. No, Fort Lauderdale to Peru on Spirit for $178. And I was like, we'll take that. But I have like this weird, not good. I just have like sometimes I get like really bad abdominal pain. Kevin's seen me, and it's like really like
Yeah, me too.
You know what podcast you're on, right?
Yes, I forgot. No, well, it's not like I don't get like I don't get the shits like you guys, but like I just like it. I don't know if I was mean, sorry, but I get like really bad cramps, and it's just like Kevin's seen me. I like end up in the ER half the time. But I had one of those episodes on a Spirit Airlines flight. And I was, like, hunched over. I was, like, sweating uncontrollably. I'm, like, shaking. I'm, like, hyperventilating. And so I went to the bathroom, and I ended up throwing up. And I got out of the bathroom, and both the Spirit Airline attendants looked like they saw a ghost. And they both, without saying a word, just silently handed me 2 sodas and, like, a bag of chips. And I got back down to my seat.
First of all, that cannot be the first time.
That costs like $40.
No, so yeah. I sit down next to Zach, and Zach goes, "Now you feel shitty. You just robbed Spirit Airlines." And he was like, that was at least $80 worth of chips right there. And I was like, woo. So if you want free shit, just look like death and come out of the bathroom. Like, I mean, I was like...
No one gave me anything after I shit my life out.
You could hear me throwing up from like aisle 30. It was so bad.
They tried not to give Patrick anything, and they flew with a mechanical issue on an airplane.
With a whole asshole in the plane.
That's so bad.
They gave you like $30 back, didn't they, Pat?
No, they gave me $100 voucher, but $100 voucher
you got 2 separate $50 vouchers.
Yeah.
And you can't use them on like fuel for the flight or something.
Yeah, so that's just on the airfare, which is usually like $10 a flight, and then everything's like seats.
Well, dude, I know I lucked out. Like, besides that one time Kevin said where we had to like sprint, I've never had anything bad happen on Spirit, and I know that's like the anomaly. Because like, Pat, your trip when you went to New York and you like had to take like the bus and everything. I know a ton of people. Yeah. There's like a huge volleyball tournament in like New Jersey, so tons of people I know from Florida flew up to Jersey, and then on the return trip back, like a bunch of people in Florida won like a bunch of free tickets. So that was the group that went. It was a bunch of free ticket group. That made no sense, but you know. But anyway. On the way back, Spirit said their flight didn't exist. Like, they all had boarding passes. They all had tickets. They had all checked in online.
They scammed the shit out of them.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
And then they're like, your flight doesn't exist. And they go, what? Because they all showed up to the gate or the terminal, and it was, like, for a different destination. And they're like, what? So their solution was to fly them. So instead of flying them back to Orlando, they flew everybody back to Miami, and then Greyhound bussed them back to their destinations. And, like, one person was from, like, Pensacola. And so, but all 3 buses that left for, like, Tampa, like, the Panhandle, and then, like, Cocoa Beach area, all 3 of them broke down with 3 hours of repairs at, like, 2 a.m. So, that never happened
I would
to me.
sue them for false imprisonment. There'd be no fucking way.
It was so... Well, it was like... I was laughing, too, because I think that was right around the time where... You know about the guy in the Greyhound bus who ate the other fucking human? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you guys not heard about this madness?
I believe it, but no.
This happened, like, recently. It was some dude in Canada who... Okay, so Greyhound used to have a campaign that said, "You've never heard of bus rage," if you remember that? They literally stopped the campaign because of this. Because a man ate another man on a Greyhound. Oh my god, you haven't heard of this. So in Canada, they're going from like one end of Canada to the other on a Greyhound. And long story short, it was some Asian schizophrenic bipolar guy who was off his meds. While this one like 20-something-year-old guy had like headphones in and he'd fall asleep in the back of the bus, this Asian man went behind him, pulled out a machete, cut his head off in a Greyhound, and proceeded to eat him. So these people were... I can't believe y'all haven't heard about this.
First of all, not only have we not heard of this, but I have another point. How does someone get murdered on a bus nobody, like, turn around?
No. So they heard about it. So, like, as soon as he pulled up the machete, someone, like, screamed, like, what the fuck? So they all ran to the front of the bus because this was happening in the back. Obviously, the driver was like, I'm gonna, like, nope the fuck out of here. So he parked the bus, like, everyone got off. But, like, I guess what they said is, like, the trip where they were when this happened was, like, in the middle of nowhere. Like, it was 2 hours from the next police station. So obviously they called the cops, but they were stuck there for 2 hours on the side of the road while this crazy man... So, like, oh my god, y'all. Like, so he cut his head off, was, like, eating parts of his body, was, like, holding the head up in the windows, like, watching the people on the side of the road, like, eating, like, drinking the blood coming out of the head, and, like, when they arrested him, they found like the man's ear and tongue like in this guy's pocket, and like just like absolute madness. Like absolute madness. And the most fucking amazing part of the story is the dude is fucking out in public again. Like, I'm sorry, like, because he went off his meds, so they went back on his meds. He was in like a mental hospital, and then he's better now, so they like, he's now approved to live on his own in public again. Like, I'm sorry, if you fucking eat another person, I don't give a shit if you get back on your meds. Like, you give up your rights to be in public. Like, that's it. Like,
I think you should give up your rights to be a person.
This is ridiculous. I'm reading this. Right. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you fucking read? I mean, it's all over Reddit and everywhere. It's absolute. It's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. But yeah, literally as that happened, Greyhound had a campaign that said, "You've never heard of bus rage," and they had to pull like millions of dollars of marketing down after that because
they never recovered the victim's eyes or heart, and those presumed have been eaten by the guy.
No,
I don't know if we can laugh about this, but what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I mean, this poor person, like, but this just,
it's probably the worst thing I've ever heard.
Imagine getting on a Greyhound bus and not getting off because that's the shit that we make jokes about, and then it actually happened to a human being.
Just sitting on the side of a highway for 2 hours.
And the other people had to watch him eat.
Oh, guys, it was awful. They were saying stuff like, he tried to drive away at one point, like, in the bus.
Take the bus.
Take the bus driver, show him how to get away.
But I guess the bus driver had, like, a, lockdown. I don't know. So he somehow locked the bus so he couldn't drive away. But yeah, like, I mean, obviously I feel awful for the poor person who got eaten. And he was, like, a college kid. Like, it was super sad. But, like, the people on the side of the road sat there and just watched obviously they were, like, facing away. But, like, the police, when they came up, there was just, like, piles of vomit all around. Because, I mean, like, do you blame them? Like, what? I don't know. It's the craziest shit. That's just nuts.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, if you get a chance to read the story, it's fucking nuts. I can't.
We will have to tweet this because there is no way you guys believe that this happened without, like, true proof.
And I felt like a psycho. So I looked this up again at my job, like, the week before I quit, because why not? And so, of course, my boss that I had said, "Hey, I'm doing my 2 weeks," comes by my desk, and I have, like, an Asian man with blood running down his face on my computer. So, Googling this. So, yeah, so wild. Not safe for work, y'all. Or not safe for work when someone's watching, I guess. But yeah, so how did we get on this?
This was such a departure from what we thought we were going to talk about.
Spirit Airlines, everybody.
Spirit Airlines. So this is a drastically worse transition now, but I wanted to ask you, Christine, what your favorite place you've ever traveled is?
My favorite place I've ever
traveled,
Where
like
did you
country
like to go?
and or city. I don't know.
Not to somebody's stomach, hopefully.
You cut out, like, right as you said, what's your favorite place you've ever, you, like, cut out, so, like, the words that filled the blank in my head, I was like, oh my god, I had, like, 8 different words that weren't traveled.
So,
yeah.
favorite place you've ever traveled, like country and or city, just kind of whatever, just your favorite place you've ever gone and why.
Okay, I'm starting just because I'm, like, you're talking, so I thought about, like, one place we went. I guess the most rewarding place I think I've ever seen, I don't need an analysis, but I can answer it, is that fucking tiger temple you and I hiked up. I don't know why, that for me is one of the most rewarding views I've ever seen. So Kevin and I in Thailand climbed this thing called the Tiger Temple, and it said it was like 1,300 steps to the top. And, like, I don't know if y'all know, like, Thailand is the most fucking humid place. Like, it makes New Orleans look like California. Like, it's, like, so disgustingly humid. And everyone said, like, hey, go look at this place for sunset.
It's a jungle.
Well, it's unreal. Like, it makes Florida, like, feel baby. What?
So,
didn't Kevin fall down the Tiger Temple?
No, he didn't fall down the Tiger Temple. No, he fell down some... Okay, that's a different story. But anyway.
So not only is it... What's 1,300 steps, right? But not only is it 1,300 steps, it's like, these aren't normal person stairs. At the end, when you're at the, like, peak, these stairs are, like, 2 feet high each. You are hiking up each stair.
And you're supposed to take, like, 40 minutes to do it, and we only had 20 minutes till the sunset. I mean,
because we were fucking late, of course.
We got up to the top and just absolutely collapsed on the ground with all the dirt and shit on it, and then we used to. But I think that was most rewarding because there's like a giant golden Buddha at the top of this, and you get like a 360 view of it. Like it's gorgeous. But that was probably the most rewarding view I've ever seen. No, Pat, to answer. So he didn't do that. I actually recently had like a Facebook memory pop up because I don't delete my Facebook, Jackson. And it was like 2 years ago or something. And it was me wearing this tank top. And I go, damn, I love that tank top. What happened to it? And I fucking wrapped it around Kevin's bleeding hand in Thailand and just threw that shit away. But no, Pat, what that was in Thailand, Kevin and I went on like a hike. I don't remember what it was for. it was still like some village up in like, it was to see like a native tribe or something. And so we were hiking through and it was really slippery because there was all like dead bamboo and dead leaves. And so going downhill, Kevin slipped and he like put his hand out to catch him and he put it down like right where like a piece of bamboo was and it like it flapped his hand open. Like it sliced his hand so you could like flap it open essentially. Oh my god, it was the most... Okay, so me, I don't do anything to do with blood and guts, so I'm almost throwing up. I'm, like, crying a little bit. I'm, like, in the corner, and three other girls in our group were, like, Israeli girls who just got out of the army because they get, like, drafted there.
They were ridiculous.
They pulled out, like, gauze, like, and, a whole doctor's office was, like, in their backpack. So I felt like an asshole because, like, my best friend's sitting there, like, bleeding with his hand hanging open. And, like... I'm over there, like, throwing up in the corner, and these 3 girls who don't even know I'm like, do. And I, like, so I gave him they needed to, like, wrap it, so I gave him my tank top to, like, wrap it up in his hand. But fucking bonkers. We ended up taking him to the hospital, and to clean it, did you get stitches? You didn't get stitches, right? Or did you?
No stitches, but they cleaned it, dressed it, and gave me a ton of antibiotic, because it was too big of a cut for stitches. It cost, like, $12 or something.
$12!
With no insurance.
And I had to go to the ER in Costa Rica, and it was, like, $3,600.
Capitalism is bad. Wow. Who saw that?
Yeah, but wild. But yeah, so Kevin like sliced his hand open, and yeah. But my god, do you remember that old lady in there? Like in the hospital?
On the hike?
Like the one
in the
made
hospital,
of dust?
yeah. Yeah, there was like a 200-year-old human.
No,
it's Thailand. It makes a lot of sense.
It was rough. Could see every vein in her body because her skin was like paper. And it looked like if you, like, poked her
and her bones
into dust. Like, it was the oldest woman I've ever... It was, like, that
she
age...
looked like...
Oh, so bad.
Like the Avengers when they snapped and everyone turned to dust. That's what she looked like. It was, like, right before those people turned to dust.
Jesus Christ.
That's literally what this lady... That's the perfect... Yeah. No, there's that.
Real quick, Christine, on the Tiger Temple or whatever that we did, we had on the top, there was incredible pictures of the sunset. In my hallway at my house, there's all these pictures of like, that I've taken while traveling, Kayla and I on all our trips, and then there's this one picture of me and Christine just like sitting on the edge of the temple in the sunset. It's a gorgeous picture, but it's like, it's not Kayla, and I'm like a soon-to-be man, so it's like, it's just super funny that I have all these pictures like Kayla and I traveling, cool pictures I've taken, and then just like me and Christine sitting at the top of the temple, and everyone double takes when they see it. They're like, what's going on there?
You know, I didn't... Were those up when we were there?
Probably... Well, maybe. I don't know. The house looks better every time Kayla comes over. So maybe
Makes sense.
That's awesome. No, but I guess to keep going, I'm trying to think. So that was, like, probably the most rewarding. This song, like... So I've been a lot of places in Europe. I think Europe's really cool. But, like... So I just did a river cruise with my parents. Because they paid for it and I was not paying for that. But we did one of the Viking ones that was, like... Like, we started up in Amsterdam and we ended down in Budapest. So it was super cool because I got to see all that. And I really like Europe, but, like, it's really pretty, but I like going to places like Thailand or, like, all the Central American countries we've been to because it's so different. Like, I really appreciate, like, going somewhere, like, super out of my comfort zone because, like, I really appreciate the beauty and stuff in Europe, but I like being uncomfortable when I travel, which is not something a lot of people do, but... Like, I gotta say, I think Thailand is probably my favorite, only because I speak decent Spanish, and so Thailand was the first place I've ever gone where I truly couldn't communicate with anybody, and I think that's a wild move. And I think everyone should put themselves in that position at least once, because it kind of puts a perspective on just, like, how crazy humanity is. Like, I think it's just insane that, like, we're the only species on this planet that can't communicate with our own species, and I think that's just wild if you, like, let that sink in, like... So.
I could barely communicate in English.
Yeah. You listen to this podcast, right? Like you.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I really like that, but honest to God, I think probably the most beautiful place I've been is Hawaii. That impressed me so much more than when you see crystal clear water and bright blue water. Really, I think of Hawaii, and being in Florida, we've all had the privilege of that sounded super privileged, but we've all been to the Caribbean and Bahamas and stuff, and we've seen that really pretty water. But I don't know, Hawaii for me was just the prettiest place I've seen. And it's cool because it's so small. You can see all the beautiful things, and if you really wanted to, in a day, you can get from one side of the island to the other. I'm talking about Oahu. I never went to Maui, but Oahu on that one. But I think that was super pretty. But yeah, I think the wildest place I've ever been is Macedonia. I don't know why anyone would ever go there. I wouldn't recommend hey, go vacation in Macedonia. But I had a foreign exchange friend he stayed with us for a while, so then I went and visited him and stayed with him. But fucking wild. So he picked me up from the airport, and we're driving back into this capital is called Skopje. So we're driving in the capital, and there's wild dogs that just run around the capital city, and I'm not used to that because that doesn't really happen here. I'm not used to just wild dogs running in front of the Capitol building, kind of wild and jinx. I don't know, that was weird. But anyway, but we're walking, and I'm not even shitting you. A dog was sitting at the crosswalk, and then when all the cars pulled up and hit the red light and stopped, he walked across the crosswalk. The dog used the crosswalk, and I was like, no, that was just a lucky, that just happened once. As we're driving through the city, I'm not even making this up. Every freaking wild dog in Macedonia has been knows to use the crosswalk, or knows hey, even if cars are coming, if I walk across the crosswalk, I'm safe. And it was bonkers because I was the dogs in Macedonia are smarter than half of the people in the United States. I was what the heck? So that was a little wild.
Those dogs are just college students. Just hit me,
yeah,
please.
Those dogs don't have student debt. They're not trying to get
But
me walking through New York City.
Are those feral dogs?
All right, Patrick.
Someone say for hogs?
They're feral hogs.
Oh my god. All right, go into that one.
Well,
thank you for giving it all away.
That was so bad.
I'm actually going to pivot off of that. So
let's shout out Willie.
Was that the person that tweeted it? I don't
Yes.
1 second. Let me go into my DM.
I can read.
Fuck this Twitter new ass desktop experience.
Are you trying to read it? I can read it, I guess.
Please read it.
Are we talking about the tweet? So
Yes.
William McNabb,
Also
tweeted-
known as Willie.
Willie,
McNabb.
tweeted, legit question for rural Americans. How do I kill the 30 to 50 feral hogs that run into my yard within 3 to 5 minutes while my small kids are playing?
There's a lot of prongs to what he fucking said. All of them bad.
To preface, this is a direct follow-up to the discussion of Americans being slaughtered every day senselessly. Just a, lighthearted topic.
This is his response to we need to ban assault weapons, is that he has 30 to 50 feral hogs within 3 to 5 minutes.
So my next question to you, Christine, is if you had 30 to 50 feral hogs storming your yard while your kids are playing, what are you doing? How are you defending yourself and your children? Give us your battle plan.
Throw the one I hate the most at them. Probably my daughter. But
All right, Sarah, you're the bait. I'm sorry.
You hate to see it, but,
But Donnie looks like he's getting a scholarship.
Boy's got a 5-star arm.
no, I love my
Listen,
girl.
he goes 80 seconds out of 3 minutes. That man's getting a scholarship to Bama.
I guess
He
it's...
doesn't even have to leave a state. The feral hogs are in Bama.
Okay, wild, because I know no one from work listens to this podcast, but I mentioned something about LeBron James. Sorry, you said my kid dunked. So I mentioned LeBron James thing to somebody at work, and they go, "Oh yeah, I saw that. That was way too much of an overreaction for a kid's basketball game." And I immediately was like, "I think I've made a mistake working here." This is not
Yeah.
That's in Texas,
Do you
right?
not understand AU?
the Marvels thing. Oh my god. Oh god.
Yeah.
Have you not been on Twitter in the last 48 hours and searched hashtag AAU?
Oh, amazing. I think I saw one where it was my mom packed ham sandwiches for everybody on my team. She ended up giving 4 away to homeless guys in the stadium. There was something it was AAU. Beautiful. Okay, sorry, feral hogs. Yeah, I honest to God, I don't even have an answer to that because I wouldn't live anywhere where that would happen.
The answer is tannerite.
What?
Yeah.
Jordan, explain.
So tannerite is a small scale explosive. Well, not really small scale. It's a medium scale explosive that if you
What scale?
It's medium scale. Well, small scale is like fertilizer and some other compound. It doesn't matter. Tannerite, you feed it to wild pigs and stuff, and then they eat it, and you detonate it, and it explodes, and it blows them up, and that's how you handle it.
If you Google tannerite, their first link is tannerite. Over 20 years of the best binary exploding rifle target / shot indicator made in the USA.
Yep.
Wait, so your solution is they're charging your children, and you're gonna throw this at them and be like, "Eat this, pigs."
Oh no, this is well before they
Yeah, you have to set a defensive perimeter.
Wait, this is Jordan? He would just lace his kids with tannerite.
Well, facts.
Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
Two birds with one stone.
less tannerite.
30 to 50 hogs, one stone.
Jesus.
So there's a lot of irony that Twitter has taken with this topic. People have made some pretty good jokes. My favorite was a group of 30 to 50 hogs is called a precinct. I think that is quite a deep dig, and I love it.
buddy.
But the guy talking about like shooting hogs with an assault rifle does not own an assault rifle, because you cannot shoot a feral hog with an assault rifle and kill it.
Yeah, this man was thinking like 5.56 rounds is going to do anything to the apparently bulletproof hide of a feral hog.
Yeah, like you either have to shoot it with like a sniper rifle, like a legitimate
like a 50 cal.
Yeah, a military grade sniper rifle, or feed it explosives. Like those are your options. So, like this guy's argument obviously doesn't like hold any water, but also it's super wild that people are like, "No, we need these guns," as people are just like going to Walmart and being killed. Like what seems like it is literally every day. And yeah, we make light of a lot of things on here, but I know it matters to all of us that people aren't just slaughtered every day doing everyday activities like buying sheets. And I'm not anti-gun by any means, but I'm anti-dead kid in Walmart. And if that means we have to get rid of guns, I'm okay with that.
We all knew once kindergartners were slaughtered and nothing changed.
Not just kindergartners. White, cute kindergartners were killed and nothing happened. Nobody even really batted an eye. Nothing happened.
For 2 days.
Okay.
And then
I saw that on Twitter.
I've been saying that for years. As soon as we saw those Sandy Hook kids die.
Oh, you know, I just retweeting the same tweet that someone sent immediately after it happened.
Yeah.
From like however many years ago it was.
As soon as nothing happened.
It's
like
honestly like here it's here like it's
Go ahead.
really bad. Like with what happened with El Paso, like being in Texas and like having like a lot of my friends are actually from like UTEP, like in El Paso. Like it's hard to tell because if you're not in Texas, but like it's I mean obviously you can imagine it's bad here, but it's really really bad. Like El Paso community is like pretty tight knit. So I personally know at least like 8 people here who have like 8 degrees of Kevin Bacon, like 2 degrees of knowing somebody who like died or like was shot or injured there. Like it's like right now in Texas it's real bad. Like the whole Mexican American community here, like any of my friends that's like remotely Mexican, like it's like really heartbreaking to see right now. Sorry, quick side.
This is a serious moment, and that matters. Like, though it shouldn't, but that stuff matters. Like, these are real people affected by real life events, and like people are like, no, we need assault rifles, and it's like, for fucking what? Like, if you can stomach people dying in Walmart, people dying children dying at school, and the only thing you have to say is we need guns, like, you have lost all morality, you have lost all humanity, and you are a sick person.
So I have a lot of thoughts on this, and they're all not very put together because it's admittedly a very emotional topic, just in general, as it really should be, and as a lot of people claim it is. But with the amount of inaction that happens, I'm not sure how much I believe it to an extent that a lot of people are actually affected by this. But one just thing that I want to touch on is the scapegoating. The scapegoating that happens when stuff like this happens is, I like Jordan. I'm not necessarily pro-gun. I'm not vehemently anti-gun. Like I feel like there's a solution that I am not smart enough to come up with to an extent that everyone's going to be happy. But my biggest thing is, like, one, people keep dying. Why not try something? And two, if we're going to scapegoat, right now what's being scapegoated is mental health and video games, right? And I want to focus on mental health. We're going to villainize people with mental health issues and start saying that mental health issues are the problem, which may be true to an extent because mental health is an important topic. But the thing is, if we're going to scapegoat it and villainize it, then we need to start providing solutions to try and fix something. The biggest thing for me is talking about or complaining about things and scapegoating things without solutioning. People are literally dying. Literally dying. You go out in public now and a motorcycle backfires and people dive to the ground.
Yo, I'm here. Like, me and Hannah were talking about it.
Times Square last night.
Yeah, we're do Brooklyn, but like, we're here and we were seeing a motorcycle backfired in Times Square, and then somebody took a video and you could see the people just like scatter.
Wait,
because they thought it was gunshots.
What do you mean?
Like made a gunshot noise. Like, I don't know what causes backfiring, but it made a gunshot noise in literally the most populous and dense place in the world. And you saw people scatter and like freak out, and like people are like, no, more guns is the answer. Okay.
No, on that, so you guys mentioned something about it's not drugs, but prescription drugs, or like any kind of like mind altering drug, or like video games. I did read something. Everyone and their mother is posting on Facebook. I did read something interesting that I did a little more research in, and it was like Zoloft is that's a really common drug prescribed to like youth a lot of times, and it's an
antidepressant.
But it was really surprising to me to see how many people that had committed gun violence had also been abusing Zoloft at the time, and not. But what I'm getting at with that is, again, with the scapegoating, it would just be nice to see clearly there's a prescription drug problem. I'm anti-big pharma, but it would just be nice to see not everyone's going to be happy, and I think you have the people yelling on one side for huge changes, and then you have the other people yelling for the opposite of that massive change on the other side. It'd be nice to see just small efforts at least, or just some kind of steps. Obviously big pharma, gun control. Those are two big topics that people have very big opinions about. But that's something for me. Okay, yeah, you can argue prescription drugs. Yeah, that's a big problem. But it's so sad to see over the years just I think everyone's thinking monumental scales, but just incremental. Say we get to a point where guns are completely banned. That's not going to happen overnight. We're not just magically going to take away everyone's guns. Sorry, being here in Texas, I can tell you right now, that's not going to happen. In Florida too, but I mean, Texas is a little more loose on that. But it would just be nice to see instead of people screaming for huge jumps, just if we incrementally make those changes, but we have to make them. That's something that's mind blowing to me is when you look at how little's really changed over the years. I don't know. That's my opinion on this. Start reforming things incremental steps. We can get there one day, but I know people who are guns need to ban guns completely. Okay, your opinion on that is your opinion, but that's not going to happen. It's, I don't know.
There's a middle ground. There's a middle ground to be had.
There's a middle ground, but I just feel the steps to even hit the middle ground are it's so upsetting to see how slow that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
And
we're just
every politician that takes money from the NRA and every politician that won't speak out against gun violence and won't make some sort of effort to at least find the middle ground is pussy, and they should be voted out immediately.
Did you see? So when it comes to politics, I honestly hate Democratic Republicans. I think both sides are just completely screwed on their core values and what they stand for. And I think both sides are just nightmares right now. But did you see that one Republican candidate, I think from like Ohio? Did y'all see her tweet? That was the most absurd shit. It was like
how video games are bad.
But it was like transgender and gays, like the breakdown. She like mentioned there were points in that I was like.
She said a lot of things that don't make any sense.
Oh, it was so bad. If you Google it, it's like the top one. It's
one
like
second.
some Ohio.
No. We got to call her out by name.
It was some Ohio senator, and her first line was the breakdown of like the traditional American family, and it's talking like gays and transgenders or something. And I was like there were points in there that were valid, but like starting with that as the opener, I was like, come on, dude. It was painful. But
yeah,
I tend to. Oh, also, why I haven't been on Twitter and didn't know about the hog thing is, I just when politics flare up, I try to just stay off. There's too many people's opinions I don't care. There's too many people's opinions I just don't care about.
Ohio State Representative Candace Miller saying that mass shootings are the blame on trans people, gay marriage, and video game on possibly the worst take of all time.
Yeah, I know people who live in Ohio. All the guys at Ohio State, fucking vote her out. She stinks.
It was bad. It was bad. Yeah, she like.
But also,
sexual drug. It was so bad.
Circling back to her saying that the mass shootings being blamed on that, we've kind of skirted around probably the main issue. Y'all's president has been wildin', and it has empowered a lot of people to act a certain way and do some things that are ridiculous and not human at this point. And like, we can't just like let that go.
Because about, like, the people who are saying like, yo, Trump, like Trump's the one inciting this stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
A little bit, but also like dudes are making manifestos that are like, brown people are invading America. Like, they're getting that rhetoric from somewhere.
I saw that.
People being radicalized on the Chan website.
Yeah.
Luckily, I escaped that.
I mean, it's not a good feel because, like, I think there was like a shooter like last year who like wrote some manifesto too before I don't remember who.
No, the New Zealand shooter wrote a 4-page manifesto on the site 8chan, as did the El Paso shooter.
Well, there's another guy who wrote a manifesto. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, as sites begin to ban these white supremacist groups, they go to the websites that don't ban them, such as 8chan, which at this point has hopefully been DDoSed into oblivion, gives them a space to advocate for white supremacy and like project.
Yep.
In a safe space.
Well, like what's weird is like I can't remember someone quoted. I'll Google it and then quote it somewhere on Twitter. But there was a guy who like was a shooter like a couple years ago, and he like had a manifesto that read super similar to Hitler's. And I was like, that's not a good take right now if that's happening again. But like I don't know. I just feel like you wouldn't want to be compared. Like, I'm not comparing the two, but it's just like
there's some correlation somewhere along the line.
Oh no, these people are drawing like inspiration from Hitler. And
well, we're saying all of this like people aren't just like cropping up and being fucking Nazis. Like that's a real thing that's coming back in vogue.
It is, but at the same time, so like I'm not. He needs his Twitter taken away forever. But like I'm not. So this isn't like defending anything he said or done. But I also think it's a little wild to just be like I don't. There's just crazy. There's just always crazy people, and they're gonna pull. They're always gonna pull inspiration from someone crazy. It's unfortunate right now that it's happening from our president.
Yeah.
But it's just like I don't know. But it's just there's just always crazy people.
I mean, there's also like an active campaign for like white supremacists to indoctrinate young people who go on these websites looking for me, who think racism is just a joke, and then just turn them to actual.
Yeah.
I know because the same.
You know, because you went on it.
Whoa!
I was gonna say.
No. I went on 4chan for like years, and then realized at like age 15 is like, wait, no, this is a bad thing.
Yes.
Is 4chan still a thing? Do people still get on 4chan?
No, yeah.
Because 4chan started moderating out the white supremacists, so they went to like 8chan and Stormfront and other what.
Stormfront sounds like we're racist. Like.
Oh yeah, no. Stormfront, the OG white supremacist website, started in 1996, started by former KKK Grand Wizard.
David Duke, who also ran.
Not David Duke, the one after David Duke.
Who fucking knows?
On a light note, do y'all remember
That's all bad.
Do you remember the green text stories on 4chan? Trying to like be a little happy.
I love green text.
Oh, those are the funniest things. If you don't know what those are, read a couple. Amazing.
Learn how to use a forward air.
I won't do it.
Oh, they're so good. Sorry, needed to lighten the mood a little. It was getting a little down.
Thank you guys for listening. We got a little deep, but these things hit home for all of us. We want these things to stop, and we're really trying to be the change we want to see in the world. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys.
Love you guys.
Put it on my life, I won't fade. Put it on my grandmama's grave. I don't want your money or your fame. I don't want your pity on my name. I don't want your bitch or your credit. All of my shit pave to set it. Pillow talking bitches confess it. Turn on my gold into tennis. Came up from pitching on pennies. Sew it up when I stitch it, throw it back when I pitch it. Moving fast, you might miss it. Hennessy that I'm pissing, overcast on my vision. Yo, bitches, my bitches, I don't feel no type with you. Still coming on sight with you. Y'all better come right with it. Who's gonna play victim, man? Who's gonna be eyewitness? Who's gonna play drug dealer? Who's gonna get more bitches? Who's gonna play Debo? I was tryna fuck you both. I'm always tryna get to throat. I always gotta do the most. My hand couldn't hold two doves. I need what I just can't find. My keys in a peace of mind. How can I get unwoke? Hate that I see both sides. How can I get more tired? Grew up on no FaceTime. I grew up on rap and rock. 50 in Parkway Drive. Cooking up kid cuisine. To cooking up finer things. Ribbon design the seams. Rolling in private G's. Rolling up private J's. Smoking them by the 8. Philadelphia on the plane. Money bags for the pain. Worry about making sense. I'ma go cash and check. Learning from my mistakes. So no, I don't got regrets. Rolling up private J's, smoking them by the 8. Philadelphia on the plane, money bags for the pain. Worry about making sense. I'ma go cash and check. Learning from my mistakes, so no, I don't got regrets.
No, I don't got regrets. No, I don't got respect. Moving up, can't regress. Sitting back, I reflect. Coming up, got no rest. Wanting more than the rest. Dealing with all the stress. Let me get my chips up, I will never jip ya. Run a fade with Gypsy, body bag we zip up. We be where the hits are, I don't ever hiccup. Run it back, I kick up. Hey, another man I will engrave. In all the danger you be in is grave. I'll dig a grave, you wanna get the fade. Into that blackness you will probably fade, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm about to lace it. Got LASIK beats, now you know how to base it. I lay it down and it ain't ever basic. Don't try to trace it.
Hey. Put it on my life, I won't fade. Put it on my life, I won't fade. Put it on my grandmama's grave.
Put it on my life, you'll get stained. I'ma leave you right where you stand. Doing this shit indie, all the shit I'm in deep. Growing up was tricky, Eminem in 50. Fucking at me 50, otherwise can miss me. Who was gonna miss me? Who was gonna miss me? I'll be getting busy, it'll keep me busy. Situation sticky, run about the city. Running out of this dream. Doing this shit indie, all the shit I'm in deep. Growing up was tricky, Eminem in 50. Fucking at me 50, otherwise can miss me. Who was gonna miss me? No, I don't wanna fade, but you might catch this fade. Some of my jeans are frayed, no, I am not afraid. But I feel like the fray, I'm in over my head. Yeah, I said, no, I don't wanna fade, but you might catch this fade. Some of my jeans are frayed, no, I am not afraid. But I feel like the fray, I'm in over my head. Yeah.
Put it on my life, I won't fade. Put it on my life, I won't fade. Put it on my grandmama's grave. Put it on my life, I won't fade. Put it on my life, I won't fade. Put it on my grandmama's grave.